Greetings there, everybody. This is not Pete Pardo from Sea of Tranquility. This is Chris Allo from Sea of Tranquility, and I am your special guest host tonight on this extra special homework assignment episode where we have the lovely Lynne Versaci and the extra handsome Pete Pardo, and they are doing a homework assignment for us tonight. For those of you who have never seen an episode of homework assignment before, basically before before the episode started, Lynne gave Pete a record assignment that he had never heard before in the past in all his musical wisdom listening, and Pete also gave Lynne a record to listen to that she had never heard before in all her years of musical listening. So they swapped albums and they listened to them, and now we're going to find out what records they heard and what they thought of them. And I'm not even sure what records they heard, so I'm curious myself. Of course, let's start with the lovely Lynne. And Lynne, what record did Pete give you, and what are your thoughts on it?
Well, first of all, you're freaking fantastic as a host, I have to say.
I was
in such a shit mood. Listen, let me just preface this that I was in such a shit mood because I'm fresh out of the hospital. I almost had to do this show from my hospital bed, and I'm in a shit ton of pain. So I'm just smiling through it right now. And you just made my night. Seriously, I'm not even kidding.
Well, I'm glad I could put a smile fabulous. On your face.
You did. That just was awesome. So with that being said, I'm on my couch. My dogs are with me. My kids are here. If it gets loud, I apologize. This is not the norm, I know, but I have to be laying down. I'm in pajamas. It is what it is. But he gave me the Todd LaTorre record.
Oh, the new solo record, right? It was kind of new, right? Or was that?
Yeah.
That's fairly new, right?
It's new. No, it's new. And well, it's especially new to me.
Suffering.
But it's new to me.
Yep.
And when I tell you well, first of all, again, I'm a huge Queensryche fan. Everybody knows I'm a huge Queensryche fan. And I didn't want to like this guy at all. I just didn't. And I never gave him a chance. And I was like, no way, not happening, not listening, not doing it. So let me say that when I went to the show that Pete blew us off at because he wasn't feeling well.
He was sick.
He was sick. I know, I'm kidding. He was sick for, and that I saw you at,
Yep.
When I went to that show, I was blown away. I mean, just blown out of the water by this guy. Not even just by his vocals. After the show, we hung out and we bullshitted for a good 20 minutes or so. And he's just the nicest, most humble guy ever. Like he's not an asshole. He's just not even a little, and you almost wanted him to be, because I was like, he can't take my guy's spot and whatever, but my guy's kind of not as nice anymore over the years, I have to say. And he got a little weird on us. So, I think Todd's amazing. So I listened to this record and 13 killer tracks. And again, I didn't want to love it. But so the first one, right? And I had to write notes because that's just me. Otherwise, I'll forget what I want to say. So Dogmata, right? The guitar starts and I'm hooked like a fat kid eating Oreos with milk,
Nice.
And who doesn't like Oreos and milk, right? Being a fat kid. So, I mean, he starts singing and everything I thought about the guy goes to shit, just goes away. Everything I didn't want to like, everything I was like, how can you not like this? Everything I thought about him was completely wrong. The show was amazing. He was amazing. So that was my first song. The track was heavy. It was really, really good. And I loved it. So then the Pretenders come on. The drum sound off the bat, right? So, okay, I have a fetish for drummers. Everyone knows it. And drums in general. I got my own Gretsch set downstairs that I attempt to play, though I'm not very good at it, but I'm working on it. But yeah, that starts off. The drum sound is great. In this song particularly, he's got, to me, and I hear it, and maybe y'all heard it before, I don't know, but he's got like this Rob Halford, King Diamond, Bruce Dickinson vibe about him. When he sings sometimes, especially to me in this song, I heard all of those voices when he was singing, you know. And I don't know, it was amazing. Then Hellbound and Down, right? Killer guitar riff. I don't know who that guitar player is. Again, because got sick and I ended up in the hospital, I didn't have time to like research who's in the band and all that stuff.
Craig
Guitar players.
Yeah,
he's ridiculous. He's ridiculous.
Yeah, him and Todd.
I like.
Yeah.
He what?
Him and Todd are best friends. Him and Craig. Yeah, they're great players.
Well, I mean, he's ridiculous. The guy's unbelievable at this guitar. So the talking in the song. So that was another one, right? Then Dark and Majesty comes on. The vocals went right through me. Literally went right through me. I was like, oh my God, this, you know, it's like you hear a record, and the first time you hear a record, you don't usually love it off the bat. You have to usually listen to it a couple times. I don't know. I was into this, and I'm like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Like, holy shit, am I gonna not like any song? Then Crossroads to Insanity, come on. Okay, that blew me out of the water so much that I had to pause my listening, Google it, then I had to watch the video, because I'm telling you, that song's my favorite song on the record, by the way. The video was ridiculous, of the whole insane asylum. It was like a story, and it was something that I felt like we've all been there. We've all been at that crossroads of insanity. We've all felt it, no matter what you're going through in life. So it was a feeling song for me. So I felt like, wow, I know where he's coming from in this song. And then I love when the song starts out with the cymbals, right? Starts out with little cymbal swells and whatever. Like, that was freaking, ugh. And then he pulls out these baritone vocals, which is where his voice normally sits. Like, that's his range. That's his sweet spot, you know? Again, that place right there, it's like you could feel the emotions come right through you. It was amazing. What else did I say about that? Yeah, it was beautiful and warm, his voice. The guitar is also killer in this. And I love how it fades out at the end. I love that at the end of that song, it just fades out. Critical Cynic comes on, killer drums, again, raw vocals, a great edge on the song. That was freaking amazing. Rejoice in the Suffering. Oh my God. So the jam, it started out, you just want to bang your head, and I just wanted to beat people up. Like, I just was like, the whole song like this. My son came in the kitchen. He's like, what the hell are you doing? I'm like, you know, because they listen to rap, my kids. They don't know. I think he thought I was having convulsions, but I don't know. That song, again, was a great hook, great guitar, everything. The bass player's tight. It was awesome. Then the next song comes on, Vexed. And I always use that word whenever I'm angry. I'm like, you know, I got so vexed. Like, I've used it. Oh, so somebody wrote a song about that. Okay, maybe I should have done that. Sing is how I love to write, you know. Again, the beautiful guitar tone starts off, melodic singing that pulled me in immediately. Then the drum and the bass and the crisp guitar start, and then, oh my God, double bass, holy shit, in that song was, what, again, blew me out of the water. Few high notes, another hook. It was just all around a great jam. Vanguards of the Dawn Wall starts off immediately intense and a little heavier. I definitely, again, wanted to bump into people, but you know what? I'm not 25 anymore. I can't be bumping into people, especially with what the shit I have going on in my body right now. So then Apology comes on, and I'm like, okay, cool. Then this opera voice starts out, and I'm like, oh my God, like, there's nothing this guy can't do. He's gonna open the phone book and just sing to me one day, you know? I'm like, he's so nice. And then I listen to this, and I'm like, I just want to be his friend. I just want to shoot the shit. I just want to feel like what's in his mind. I just want to go there, you know? Just amazing. I mean, I don't know. The growl in that song, again, who doesn't love a really good growl? We all love growls. Again, the guitar, fucking amazing. And you know what? Then this Fractured comes on, bonus track. But before the bonus tracks, let me just get to in Apology, again, because I like the opera voice and I like that register where he goes. You know, like, I know Mind Crime was a story, and I'm not saying this for a Queensryche thing. I'm just saying that was a story. King Diamond had Abigail, right? Wasn't that the story? I'm telling you, this dude is so good. He could do a rock opera. And I almost want to help him produce or work on his rock opera with him. It would be huge, because I feel like his vocals are all over the place. He can pull you in with this opera voice. He can do the opera. He can do the growls. He can get heavy with the screams. He can tell the whole story, because his voice goes in every range of emotion that you would feel when you're watching a story, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Right. So this
Cool.
dude, he should really, Todd, if you're gonna check this out.
Todd,
which
if
I
you're
hope you do.
watching,
And
If
Lynn's
you're
ready.
watching,
Todd watches us all the time, so I'm sure he's.
well, I'm telling you, if you're watching, new bestie, let me just tell you, I didn't drop any F-bombs because he told me it wasn't nice. And you know, if he says no F-bombs, it's no F-bombs. Side note, my new best friend, I'm telling you, a rock opera is where it's at, and I'm gonna help you. But no, just amazing. So then the bonus tracks, right? Fractured comes on, so starts out all grit on the guitar, vocals, the bell on the ride in that song. Oh my God, talk about turning someone on. I mean, in general, people, there's got to be somebody out there that loves the bell on the ride. I mean, you know,
asking for a friend.
asking for a friend, exactly. But yeah, that was unbelievable. You know, phew, kidding me? Then Set It Off, right? That was good. Another hook. Love the vocals. Love it all. Love the hi-hat with the guitar. You know, it's got the little hi-hat going. Then the guitar comes in. Then the whole thing's coming. Oh my God. I can't. One by one, the last bonus track. And I was still wanting more. I was still wanting more after 13 tracks. Again, one by one, the killer drums to start, same guitar, heavy, the chorus, the double bass. Oh my God. I can't. Pete, I love you. I'm loving everybody right now, but
I knew you would.
I'm
love
telling you right now.
And that's the album, everybody. By the way, that's
Oh, nice. Yep.
Rejoice in the Suffering.
Oh my God.
Should have pulled the CD out.
Like I don't even have any tattoos, but I do want to get one. I'm almost like that would be a really badass tattoo.
It's very cool, right? It's a great album cover.
Yeah, I mean,
Really
it's
cool.
it's definitely
Really
it's a cool symbol. I was going to say I haven't heard the whole album.
Ah.
I have only heard good things about it, but then I did hear a couple tracks, including I watched one of the videos, and yeah, I was definitely taken by the range that Todd had and doing the growls and stuff. Along with the clean vocals, and I was definitely impressed. So I
Yeah.
was thinking about picking up the album, but now after Lynne's awesome review, yeah, that's a definite extra purchase. I'll definitely. There's another copy sold
Ditto.
right there.
Yeah, it's
Ditto.
really good.
Ditto
I mean,
for me. I'm buying it. I'm going online after this and I'm buying it. No question.
Chris, you didn't even have to ask the
I was
question.
gonna say I didn't even have to ask the magic questions.
No, you didn't. I'm buying it. And not
Okay.
only am I buying it, but when we do the show, I'm putting it on my freaking social media. My 5,000 followers, they can all buy the goddamn thing too.
Nice.
Because it's amazing. And I'm telling you, like with how sick I am, and I've been, and which really sucks right now. I got, and my life, being tough. I lost my parents recently, and raising kids alone. It's really been tough. And I would love to just get a job, just doing this, just doing music and reviewing this and working on Todd's rock opera. That's
so
what I
Todd,
would
if
like
you're
to do.
listening,
So
Lynn's ready.
I really
Get that rock opera going, yeah.
no,
Wait,
I'm
Todd-
serious. Like you know what? This makes me feel good, and I'm in a ton of pain right now, and I'm grimacing through it. But this makes me happy. This made me feel good. Really
That's
did.
good.
So thank you, Pete, for sharing that.
You're welcome. I had a feeling you'd like it. And I will say, Todd came on the show last year and he specifically told me that he was trying to go for different vocal tones and styles that he doesn't normally use on the Queensryche albums.
Yeah.
So
Which
Totally.
makes total sense.
yeah, very on purpose. And Lynne, you do know he played all the drums on that album, right?
Oh God damn.
That's funny.
Am I blushing?
Like
don't know
you
what to
are
say.
now, right?
I could say stuff, but
Hey,
I'm not.
fucking
I'm,
God.
I'm,
You
I'm
know
trying to
what?
keep it
I
clean.
just dropped an F-bomb. It got hot in here real quick. I don't know what to
Woo.
say. You know what? Rarely is Lynne Versaci ever speechless, ever. And that you just made me speechless, Pete Pardo. Yeah. You know what? I can't. I'm putting the covers over my.
Well, didn't he do the drums on the last Queensryche record too?
He did. Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, stop it now. Just stop.
Yep.
Stop. All right, there you go. I could use some drum
Well,
lessons too.
well, folks, there you have it.
While we're
Lynne
at
is
it,
totally
we're gonna-
sold on the new Todd Latore record that Pete recommended. And Pete, what was the album that Lynne suggested you listen to for your homework assignment?
All right. So
Again, let me preface this with he asked me for something 80s.
Yes, I did. Yes, I did. So a lot of people are going to be amazed that I'd never heard this album before, and there's probably a lot of reasons why. The album is Missing Persons Spring Session M from 1982, their debut album. I remember so many people listening to this album back in the day. I remember it being a big seller and everybody talking about Missing Persons. And, 1982, I wasn't listening to new wave or synth pop, or I was listening to metal, right? So I stayed far away from this. So when Lynne brought this to my attention, I was like, yeah, I don't think I ever heard this at all. So I was like, all right, I'm willing to take a shot, right? I mean, then I started to look into the band, and, obviously, Dale Bozio on vocals. Everybody knows Dale, and Terry Bozio on drums and vocals and
Hence the reason I picked it, because
yeah,
he's freaking amazing.
Oh, I love Terry Bozio's drums. I mean, I've seen him in Zappa and UK. I mean, I'm a big fan of his. But then I looked into who the rest of the band was, and you got Warren Cucurullo on guitars and vocals. He's from Zappa as well. Patrick O'Hearn on bass. He's from Zappa as well. I'm like, holy shit, these are 3 Zappa guys. And I love
Killer band.
And Chuck Wilde on keyboards. I didn't know who he was, but so I was like, all right, I'll give this a try, right? So the first track is called Noticeable One. I kind of was digging this. I'm like, this is pretty rocking. A lot of early 80s synths going on throughout this album, which, some is hit or miss at times, but it works with the music. Warren's doing some really nice kind of angular guitar work on here, very reminiscent of the stuff he was doing with Zappa. And the music kind of reminds me a little bit of what the Cars were doing very early in their career, like the first 2 albums. It's new wave, it's kind of hard rock, it's kind of synth pop, and I kind of like this song. I thought Dale's voice was really cool here. Really great kickoff song to the album. Next one was called Windows. This was more like the kind of typical new wave pop stuff of the early 80s. Lots of synths. I'm missing the kind of oomph of the first song, but I can see the appeal. But this song really wasn't my speed much. The third track was called Ain't None of Your Business. I'm listening to this song and I'm like, man, this should have been on the soundtrack to The Breakfast Club, which is a movie that I love. And a lot of kind of stuff like this on that soundtrack and that film. I think Dale's vocals are really kind of cute and playful. There's some kind of crispy guitar work going on, lots of synths. Okay tune. Initially, I didn't like it much, but when I listened to this, because I listened to this album a couple times, it started to grow on me a bit. So not a bad song. Then Destination Unknown came on. That's the next track. That's a really fun song. I kind of think I might have heard this at some point. Kind of sounds a little familiar, but I'm not really sure. So maybe at some point I heard this track and I looked it up. This was a single. So again,
that was a sizable hit back then.
Yeah, maybe I heard it once or twice, but just didn't register with me at all. But I like it. It's catchy, ton of groove, great chorus. It's got this kind of futuristic sounding arrangement, which I thought was kind of cool. I just wish there was a little more guitar, because Warren's such a good player, and there are spots on this album where you hear a lot of him and others where you don't. But I think it's a pretty good song. I liked it. Walking in LA, like this song. This is good. Good rocking guitars from Cucurullo on that. Dale's doing some kind of unique things with her voice. She's a really different singer. She's doing the weird high pitch stuff, and sometimes she's talking, doing this these little baby things. It's really weird, but I kind of like it. And Terry's just killing it on the drums on this song. So that's a good song. US Drag, another pretty good track. Reminds me of The Police a little bit. It's got these,
I can see that.
Yeah, it's got these kind of crisp guitar riffs. The drums are pretty intricate. I think Dale again is doing some interesting things on the vocals. I think it's a fun song. I like the beat to it. It's pretty cool. Tears is next. I like this one a lot too. You got some really cool guitar licks going around the arrangement. The synths are really upbeat, catchy chorus. Again, I'm kind of getting this futuristic new wave Police thing going on, and the drumming is great on this song as well. I think overall the drumming is just fantastic throughout this entire album.
How could it not be?
Yeah, I know. Right? You wouldn't expect any less, right? Here and Now, cool upbeat song, again, kind of new wave poppy. Love the chorus, really good. And then we get to a song where I definitely heard before, Words. I remember this. As soon as it came out, I'm like, oh yeah, I remember this song. Do you hear me? Do you care? Blah, blah, blah. This was, I guess, their really big hit from the album.
Totally.
Catchy. Pretty rocking. I love the vocals. The guitars are killer. Really, really cool song. I really like that a lot.
And that see-through bra she wore in the video was awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, I watched the video.
Listen, she was easy on the eyes,
Oh,
definitely.
for sure.
I mean, definitely a unique look, but her body's banging. I mean, are you
Yeah.
kidding me?
Yeah.
Ridiculous. Ridiculous.
Yeah, yeah. And just a really unique way of singing. I mean, nobody
Yeah.
sounds like her.
Yeah, no, they can't touch her.
Bad Streets is next. Good guitar work on there. Again, remind me of kind of like the more adventurous Police stuff, which, you know, Police were huge at this time. So I'm sure they were influenced by them a little bit. It's got kind of like a post-punk feel in spots. Memorable chorus, a lot of fun. I like it. Rock and Roll Suspension is next. It's got these big, like kind of like hard rock metallic guitar riffs. A lot of those kind of weird, eerie synth tones and stuff. It's kind of strange. It's like a really weird arrangement, but it kind of works. Dale's vocals on this one are just wacky. They're all over the place. She's doing those and all this weird stuff, and it's just like what the hell is she doing? But it kind of works. I kind of like it. It reminds me, part of this song reminds me a little bit of like similar era King Crimson. It's got like all these weird guitar things going all over the place, and the synths and the bass and drums are really complex. Hear a little Zappa influence in there as well. Really good song, really weird, but I like it. Then you got No Way Out, which is more of like a straightforward 80s rock song, and Terrio is just ripping it up on the drums on this one. Good guitar riffs. Her vocals again are all over the place, but I think it's just a really good up-tempo rock song with a little bit of like new wave elements. So yeah, pretty cool. So I mean, overall, I gotta tell you, I wanted to hate this album because I was like, well, I've avoided this album for 40
years.
There's probably a reason for it, right? But you know what? The more I started listening to it, the more I was kind of like, this is actually pretty fun. And, you know, I'm just amazed at how big this album was. And really, you know, Words is the only song I definitely knew. And I think, like I said, I think I might have heard Destination Unknown before, but the rest of it, never heard in my life. And, you know, I just never bothered to investigate these guys because early mid-80s, I wasn't listening to anything like this, you know?
Yeah. Well, I'm a chick, so I figured, you know, my musical genre is probably a lot wider than most people's. Really, I feel like anyway.
Yeah.
No, and I'm gonna give you that Roxy Music. I was gonna give you that, but you already heard it.
Yeah, I've had that for years. Yeah.
And I love that.
Yeah.
I love that too. The reason I also had this in that, you know, I was giving you a couple of things because of Terry. You know, I actually saw him play just at his own. You know, he did his own thing. You know, his own drum thing, and it was ridiculous. I mean, I think I don't know how many drums he had all around him lined up, and he played every single one.
Yeah.
And then he said when he goes on vacation, he picks up little things and he makes drums from it. He makes like these little, it's insane. And he plays all kinds of things that he just makes.
Yeah. It's dedication.
He's a little, you know, but he's freaking ridiculous. His mind must be like,
yeah,
I can't begin. But would you buy it? Are you going to buy it?
I was going to say, yeah, the magic questions, Pete. Would you buy it? Would you just listen to it online, or would you forget all about it?
Well, actually, I ordered it on eBay a couple days ago. I was kind of hoping I'd have the CD here in time for this, but it hasn't arrived yet. So yes, I did order it.
Yes.
I liked it enough. Yeah, it's like 80% of it I really enjoyed. You know, the other 20% I was kind of like but it was fun. I was amazed at how much I liked it actually. Because it's not really my cup of tea usually,
awesome.
But musically it's really intense. There's some really great stuff going on there, and a lot of it's catchy and it's weird. And I was like, yeah, you know what? I'll buy it. So, you
know, with those musical players you got all together, it can't be bad. It can't be completely bad. I mean, it just can't, unless you're like a closed-minded person and you just can't. But if you're a music lover, I really feel like even if there's a genre of music that you don't like, that you really hate, you're like, I wouldn't listen to it. I feel like if you loved music and you kind of got it, like it's in your soul, like it's in my soul. So when God bless you, my son just sneezed up. So when I feel like when I listen to any kind of music, if your mind is open, then you can always pick out something that you like. you may not like the song or you may not like the vocals, but you might go, hey, it's not my cup of tea, but that guitar player is really good, or that drummer's really good, or the vocals are really good, or you like the lyrics. There should be able to be one thing you pick out of every, I feel like anyway, it's the arts. It's the arts. It's everyone's interpretation of what they're feeling. So I don't know. That's just me.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I totally agree.
Well, folks, there you have it. Another successful episode of Homework Assignment. Pete is already ordered the disc of Missing Persons, and looks like Lynne is going to pick up the new Todd La Torre solo album. So
I am. But my birthday, just so you know, it's on April 23rd, next Saturday. In case anybody wants to send me gifts, mail them to whatever address Pete has.
now you'll get 10 copies of the new Todd La Torre records.
Well, listen, I can
Not
get
if you're watching, Lynn's birthday is in a week.
Right.
Exactly. I could use some drum lessons, and I could use a job working on your future rock opera.
Nice.
There you go. There you go.
There you
Throwing it
go.
out there.
Very good. Very good.
I had a good time listening to it.
Yes, this was fun.
Nice.
I think
Absolutely.
it's going to be because I'm in a ton of pain right now. I'm going to go take some medicine, and I'm going to put this on again just because it'll be music to sleep by tonight.
There you go.
So put in the comments whether you like the Missing Persons record or the Todd La Torre record. And then Pete will be back here tomorrow for an episode of Friday Night Funhouse with Martin Popoff.
Actually, it's this airs on Sunday, so it'll be the Hudson Valley Squares. We'll all be back. So
we'll be back on Monday with the Hudson Valley Squares, which is the best episode next to Monsters Den right here on www.seaoftranquility.com.
Wait, and not for nothing, but Bona Pasqua, everybody. Happy Easter.
Oh, right. Happy Easter.
Happy
Is this going to
Easter.
air after that, though? Or
no, Sunday is Easter.
All right, there we go. Happy Easter.
There you go. So, all right, Chris, visit us on the web at
I knew it was something.
www.org. We're on Facebook.
I couldn't remember it all.
Of course, we're here on YouTube.
All the damn time.
That's right. So for Chris Allo and Lynne Versaci, I am Pete Pardo. We'll see you next week here on Album Homework Assignment. Take care, everybody.
You keep clicking.
Well, it's not letting me stop recording.
That's hysterical.